identify the different kinds of business, explain also the legal forms of business ownership. Third, illustrate the procedures on how to register business enterprise. And last, realize the benefits of a registered business. So, dun tayo sa una, the kinds of business. So, actually, we have three kinds of business. As we have first, the industry, second, the commerce, and third, the services. So, yung industry, actually, ano siya? Manufacturing. Also, yung commerce, that is merchandising, and services po yan. So, those are the three kinds of business based on the activities of a business. So, una, kung tawag dun, ang business kind natin is industry, you are primarily concerned with the production, application of labor upon the use of materials so that greater usefulness becomes possible after processing. So we have two kinds of this industry. The first is extractive industry and the second one is the manufacturing industry. So yung extractive, nakita nyo sa slide number 5 natin. Merong farming doon, merong fishing doon, merong mineral doon, merong forest doon. So ano pang ginagawa ng mga business na yan? They extract our natural resources for this to be processed and be useful in our life. So for example, yung mga pananim, kung hindi natin i-extract ang mga yon, may magagamit pa tayo? Wala naman. Yung mga minerals, kung walang magmimina, meron ba tayong mga minerals ngayon? Meron ba tayong mga gems, mga jewelries ba tayo? Wala. Isa pa yung fishing industry. Bigla-bigla bang may fish tayo kung walang mambibingwit or walang mga fishermen natin? And then also yung mga logs doon sa forest. These logs will be used in the making of furnitures and furnitures na gagamitin din natin sa mga bahay natin and sa mga businesses natin. So ang main na ginagawa ng extractive industry is the extraction of our natural resources. These will be processed so that they would become useful in our daily life. So there is also application of labor for these to be extracted. The second type of industry is the manufacturing industry. Kung nakikita nyo yung slides nyo, andun yung oil, coconut oil, and we have also the log na ginawang tawag doon, nahati-hati yung logs, and it was turned into a chair, to a wooden chair, and this was processed para mas naging maganda yung itsura niya sa dulo. So, these things, there is the application of labor on the materials na ang main goal natin is to provide a greater usefulness of these resources. So manufacturing involves the transformation process from raw materials into finished goods. The extractive industry, they extract our natural resources in preparation for the manufacturing process. So that's the first kind of business, the industry. The second one is the commerce industry. The commerce industry, this involves the process of buying and selling where the goods are moved from the point of production to the point of consumption. So, after na na-produce or na-manufacture ng mga manufacturers ng mga products natin, syempre ibebenta po yan. Ang commerce, ito po yung pagbebenta sa mga end users or sa mga consumers. This could be done by retailers, by wholesalers, or yung mga stores na alam nyo, or pwede rin online na binebenta ang mga products natin. So, ang main goal ng commerce or ng merchandising business is the buying and selling of goods. Saan sila bumibili? Bumibili sila sa mga manufacturers. Kanino nila binebenta? Sa atin ng mga consumers. So, yun po ang commerce. Example ng mga stores na pwedeng pagbilhan ng mga merchandise goods, or we have Robinson Malls, National Bookstore, the Shoe Mart. Basically, lahat ng mga stores, yung mga binebenta nila, those were already manufactured. So, tawag doon, sila, binebenta nila yung mga gawa na. So, for example, dito sa Lagawe, we have Lagawe Trading. Ang mga binebenta niya, binibili din naman niya. So, involved siya sa merchandising or sa commerce industry. Binibili nila yung binebenta din nila. Hindi sila ang gumagawa. Kasi kapag sila ang gumagawa ng binebenta nila, they are called industry. They could be manufacturing industry. And ngayon, ang trend ngayon, syempre hindi pa rin nawawala ang mga presence of stores, grocery stores, whatever stores man. Pero dumadami na din ang online selling of goods and services. On your slide number 9, andun ang Lazada, Cebu Pacific, Lamode Philippines, Metrodeal, and Sogo. So, ang mga yan, nagbebenta sila ng mga products and services nila online. Sa kaya tinatawag silang e-commerce or electronic commerce. So, mag-order ka sa kanila at i-deliver nila sa inyo. So, that is the trend ngayon. So, di ko alam kung meron bang engage sa inyo sa online buying and selling. Kung meron man, you are involved in the commerce. You are involved in commerce or in merchandising business. And the third kind or third type of business activity is the servicing business. So, at your service, they are primarily concerned with the satisfaction of the needs and wants of consumers. This is also the occupation or function of serving. So kung ang merchandising at manufacturing, ang binebenta nila ay tangible, anong ibig sabihin ng tangible? Yung nakikita natin, nahawakan natin, it is transferable to us. Siyempre kapag may binili kang goods, siyempre makukuha mo yung goods. Sa service naman, ang binebenta nila is intangible. Ulitin ko, intangible. Hindi natin sila nakikita, hindi natin sila nahawakan, nararamdaman natin yon, nire-receive natin yon. Yung tawag doon, yung service nila. They render to us their service. That's why they are called servicing business, kasi ang binebenta nila ay service nila. So, anong example ng mga service? We have public and community service. First, we have transportation companies. Yung pagsakay sa jeep, pagsakay sa tricycle, pagsakay sa train, ang mga lahat ng yon, syempre nagbabayad tayo. They are involved in the transportation service. So, service ang binebenta nila. Nagbabayad naman tayo. Also, we have communication companies like PLDT, Globe, Smart. Lahat yan, nagre-render sila ng communication services to us. Yung mga publishing agencies or mga news or entertainment media, we have ABS-CBN, GMA, TV5, lahat yan. Ang binibigay nila sa atin ay servisyo din or service. And we have Meralco or electric services dito sa ating Ifelco, Ifugao Electric Cooperative. Ang binibigay nila sa atin ay service. Wala naman silang binibenta na product. Ang binibigay po nila ay service. Also, merong mga professional or trade services like yung mga law offices. So, ang nagmamay-ari nun ay isang lawyer. Anong binibenta ng lawyer? Sarili niya. Siyempre, hindi naman. Ang binibenta niya ay yung skills niya, yung expertise niya sa mga law, sa mga law services niya. So, yun, siyempre nagbabayad tayo ng professional fee sa kanila. Also, kami ng mga CPA or Certified Public Accountants, nagre-render din kami ng aming accounting, ng aming auditing skills, also our teaching skills, kagaya namin na nasa academe, nagtuturo kami. What we are offering is our service. So, we are involved under servicing business. Also, yung mga repair shops, also yung mga hospitals natin. So, to summarize, the three kinds of business activity, we have the industry, including the extracting and manufacturing industry. The second one is commerce or merchandising industry or business. And the third one is the servicing business or the servicing industry. Both the commerce and the industry, what they are offering are tangible goods, but for servicing business, what they are offering are intangible goods called as services. So, we also have the legal forms of business. So, yung nauna, three kinds of business activities or three kinds of business as to activity. The second one is the classification of business, the forms of business based on their registration to our government. So, forms of business, depende po yan sa ownership. Usually, it depends on ownership. So, we have three legal forms of businesses. We have the sole proprietorship, the partnership, the corporation, and we also include the cooperative. So, we have first, sole proprietorship. Anong ibig sabihin ng sole? Ang ibig sabihin ng sole, mag-isa. Single. Walang ka-double. Single. So, sole proprietorship. So, it is a business owned by one person. Kaya tinawag siyang sole proprietorship. Anong tawag sa kanya? Proprietor or businessman. Proprietor. Sole proprietor. Kapag babae, proprietress. So, single or sole proprietorship. So, anong mga characteristic or advantages and disadvantages of a sole proprietorship? Isa sa mga advantages niya is that it is the easiest one to form. Andali siyang ma-organize and at the same time, andali din siyang i-dissolve or i-terminate. So, kung gusto mong i-organize ngayon at i-terminate mo bukas, ay pwede din naman. So, andali lang. Kasi mag-isa ka. You have control. You can decide. So, it is one easiest to form at hindi po siya masyadong subject sa regulations or government regulations, kaya sobrang dali po siyang i-organize at sobrang dali din siyang i-dissolve or i-terminate yung operation niya. One of the greatest advantage also of sole proprietorship is that lahat ng profits mapupunta sa owner. Since mag-isa kang nagmamay-ari, lahat ng profit pupunta sa'yo. And you also as the owner will serve as the boss. Mag-isa ka. Kung boss ka, you can exercise your control. You may design. Kasi mag-isa ka lang. You can decide on your business. You control your business activity. Walang kokontra sa'yo. Kasi ikaw lang, mag-isa ka lang. And also, tax advantage. Why? Kasi yung kita ng business, matataksan siya mismo sa owner of the business. Yung business natin, hindi siya matataksan kapag it is a sole proprietorship. So, ulitin ko, kapag sole proprietorship, yung business na yun, hindi siya matataksan. Yung kita ng business, syempre, pupunta yun sa owner, yun ang matataksan. Unlike the two other kinds of business. And there are also lesser government regulation kapag sole proprietorship. But, syempre, marami din siyang disadvantages. So, first, unlimited liability. Anong ibig sabihin ng unlimited liability? Yung utang ng sole proprietorship or ng business mismo ay utang din ng sole proprietor or ng owner. Ulitin ko, yung utang ng business ay magiging utang din lang ng owner. Why? Because the one who owns the business is the owner. So, it is characterized by unlimited liability. At kung sakaling hindi mabayaran ng business yung utang ng business, sinong magbabayad? Yung owner. Hahabulin yung owner para mabayaran yung utang ng business. That is unlimited liability. Also, there is lack of stability kasi mag-isa ka lang. You do not have enough resources. You have limited capital also. And you have also limited access to credit. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka masyadong makautang ng malaking amount of money kasi maliit ang business mo. So you have limited access to credit. Unlike kapag mas malaki ang business mo, may mas potential kayong pwedeng umutang na mas malaking amount to finance your business. And also, one of the disadvantages, since mag-isa ka lang, you have limited business knowledge and business skills. Wala kang ibang kasamang mag-run ng business mo. Also, I will add another disadvantage. What if nalugi yung business? Yung buong lugi ng business lahat pupunta yun sa owner. The owner will bear the losses of the sole proprietorship. Pero kapag profit naman, lahat ng profit pupunta sa'yo. Pero kapag nalugi nga ang sole proprietorship, lahat ng lugi mapupunta sa'yo. So, those are the advantages and disadvantages of a sole proprietorship. Always remember, sole proprietorship kasi mag-isa lang ang owner. Sole, mag-isa. So, in slide number 15, sabi niya dito, lahat ng utang, tax, investment, decisions, control, sa'yo lahat. That is sole proprietorship. So, ang tanong, gusto mo bang mag-isa pa rin? What if sa business gusto mong mag-isa pa rin? That is sole proprietorship. Next would be partnership. Ano ang partnership? So, kung nakita nyo sa slide natin, may dalawang taong, ano yung tinutulak nila? Tinutulak nila yung dollar. The one holding the blue, the other one holding a red, na nakat yung dollar. Pagsasamahin nila, that is the nature of partnership. It is where two or more persons combine their resources to form a business primarily being conducted for profit. They join their resources to form a business for profit. That is a partnership. It is composed of two or more owners. Kasi kung mag-isa siya, that is called a sole proprietorship. Kung two or more, that is called a partnership. Naintindihan? Sana nakakasunod pa. Now, there are also advantages and disadvantages of a partnership. One of its advantage is that it is easy to organize. Same with sole proprietorship. Pero ang easiest to organize is sole proprietorship. Ang easy is partnership. And since dalawa or more ang nagmamay-ari ng business, there is more capital and more credit capacity. Also, partners get all profits. Pero ang disadvantage nun, yung profit paghati-hatian nila. And also, there is more knowledge and skills. Since mas marami kayong nagmamay-ari, you can combine your resources, you can combine your knowledge, your skills in properly maintaining your business. Yun yung isang advantage of partnership. Yung mga disadvantages niya, we have unlimited liability. Ibig sabihin, kapag yung partnership hindi niya kayang bayaran ang utang niya, anong gagawin? Yung mga partners, sila mismo ang magbabayad sa utang ng partnership. Also, it would be less stable kasi we have limited resources. We have lesser knowledge and skills in maintaining our business over a corporation. And since marami kayong nagmamay-ari, there could be management disagreement. What if ang gusto ng isang partner ay ganito, pero yung gusto ng isa ay ganito na naman? So, magkakontra kayo. So, anong masusunod? So, ang partnership, it is prone with disagreements of the partners. And also, there could be idle investment. Pwedeng may mga investment na naibigay sa partnership na hindi nagagamit, hindi na ma-maximize. So, that is partnership. Isa pang disadvantage ng partnership is that it is subject to tax. Yung business mismo, subject siya sa tax. Same with corporation. 30% based on the net income of the partnership. Subject po sa 30% tax. So, ang makukuha ng mga partners ay only 70%. Ano pa ba? So, yun, that is for partnership. Ulitin ko, partnership is owned by two or more persons. Ang tawag sa kanila ay partners. Partners ang tawag sa kanila. Third one is the corporation. Usually, ito yung mga malalaking businesses. Ano ang corporation? It is an organization. It is a business created by operations of law. It is an artificial being created by operations of law. So, ang mere agreement of the owners will not create a corporation. Ulitin ko, yung pag-agree ng dalawang tao or two or more persons will not create a corporation. But they can create a partnership. Hindi kasi, ang corporation kasi, kailangan pagdaanan yung mga legal requirements before it will be recognized. Kasi it is subject to greater supervision and greater supervision by the government. So, ano ulit ang corporation? It is an artificial being created by operations of law. So, ano ang mga advantages niya? Unang advantages niya is limited liability. Limited. Unlike kanina ng mga unlimited. Ngayon, limited ang liability. Ibig sabihin, yung utang ng corporations, hindi babayaran ng mga owners. Ang tawag pala natin sa owners ng corporation ay corporators or shareholders. Shareholders or corporators. Sila ang nagmamay-ari ng corporation. So, limited liability. Ang utang ng corporation, yun, tapos na kayo kay Ma'am Charlene. So, sana nandito kayo, manood kayo. Nasa corporation na po kami. So, one advantage of corporation is limited liability. Kapag yung corporation, hindi niya kayang bayaran yung utang niya, yung utang na yun cannot be transferred to the corporators or to the shareholders. That's why, limited ang liability ng mga shareholders. Naintindihan? Kasi yung utang ng corporation, yung corporation mismo ang magbabayad. Hindi pwedeng habulin ang mga shareholders in order to pay the liabilities of the corporation. Isang advantage niya, easy to raise capital. Kasi nagbebenta po sila ng shares. Tinatawag nilang shares. So kapag bumili ka ng shares, you will be called a shareholder. Yung mga stocks nila, na itre-trade po, binebenta po siya sa Philippine Stock Exchange. So it is tawag doon, characterized by stocks or by shares. So you can choose to be an investor, you invest to them by buying shares sa kanila. Also, it has a perpetual life. Actually, hindi na siya perpetual life. Unlimited life ang isang corporation. Dati kasi, ang maximum life of a corporation is 50 years. After 50 years, ire-renew yung life of the corporation. Naririnig nyo naman siguro yung issue ng ABS-CBN Corporation. Diba? They are seeking renewal of their franchise. Kasi hindi sila pwedeng magpatuloy kapag yung franchise nila was not renewed. Kasi corporation din sila. So, they need to, dapat maipasa yun para magpatuloy yung business nila. So, ganun din. Sa corporation, they have a perpetual life. After 50 years, or kapag nag-expire yung 50 years, i-renew nila. But, under the revised Corporation Code of the Philippines, na-revise po kasi siya, under the revised code, naalis na yung 50 years. So, kung gusto nilang mag-operate for an unlimited number of years, papayagan yan ng government. So, bahala silang mag-dissolve ng corporation nila. So, the corporation has an unlimited life. And there is also specialized management of the corporation. Why? Because naririnig nyo siguro ang board of directors. Ano ang board of directors? Sila ang management group of the corporations. The shareholders, they will elect the board of directors. The company officers or the CEO, the secretary, the treasurer, sila ang magmamanage ng business. So, hindi lahat ng owners or hindi lahat ng shareholders of the corporation kailangan mangialam sa management. Mag-e-elect sila at yung mga na-elect nila, sila ang magmamanage ng business. And since napakalaki ng corporation, it is difficult to organize. It is one of the disadvantages. Mahirap umpisahan ang corporation. Because it is also strictly regulated by the government. And some are socially irresponsible. Though nag-elect kayo ng mga officers nyo, ng mga board of directors nyo, pero hindi naman nila binabantayan ang interest ng mga shareholders, then the corporation fails. Kasi hindi niya nagagawa yung responsibilities niya sa mga shareholders. That's why it's one also of the disadvantages. And there is impersonal employee-employer relationship for a corporation. So, that's a corporation. The last, we have the cooperatives, RA 9520 or the Philippine Cooperative Code of 2008. They get their existence through this law. This is called actually the Cooperative Development Act or CDA. CDA. So, the principles of a cooperative, there is open and voluntary membership. So, kung gusto mong maging member ng mga cooperative, magbayad ka, pumunta ka sa kanila, mag-apply ka. For example, we have, dito, ano yung cooperative dito sa Lagawe ulit? LMDC, Lagawe Multipurpose Development Cooperative. So, open siya. Yung mga gusto nang mag-member o mag-member, magbabayad lang kayo. There's voluntary membership. There is also democratic control kasi may mga participation ang members of the cooperative. Ang tawag pala sa owners of the cooperative ay members. So kung member ka ng cooperative, you are one of the owners. There is autonomy and independence. They could also offer education, training, and information. And there is cooperation among cooperatives. So kung maraming cooperatives, pwedeng magtulungan yung mga bawat cooperatives. So those are cooperatives. And how will we register our business? So we have the steps in slide 22. To establish the legal personality of the business, kailangan pong i-register. Kailangan mag-obtain ng permit to operate or PTO. Kailangan ng permit para mag-operate or legally mag-operate yung business natin. And also, we must comply with the requirements of special regulatory or promotional programs of the government. So for partnerships and corporations, kailangan pong mai-register yan sa Securities and Exchange Commission. For sole proprietorship, you could register sa Bureau of Trade Regulation and Consumer Protection. Ang cooperative, kailangan mag-comply sa Cooperative Development Authority. Also, kailangan nating makipartner sa BIR kasi kailangan nating kumuha ng PIN from the BIR. Kung may mga employees ka, you need to register them also sa SSS or Social Security System. So, paano nga ba nagre-register ng business? So, punta kayo sa DTI and also sa BT's RCP or sa SEC or sa CDA. Punta kayo sa LGU, sa barangay, kumuha ng permit. Pumunta kayo, mag-register kayo sa BIR, sa SSS, sa DOLE, sa HDMF, or PhilHealth. So, lahat yon kailangan for the employees. Pero ang una po, kailangan yung mag-register sa respective agencies, depende kung sole proprietorship, partnership, or corporation kayo. And kukuha kayo ng business permit, pwedeng sa munisipyo or sa barangay ninyo. And under RA 3883 in November 14, 1931, Business Names Law, sinasabi na dito that no two business would have the same or similar names. Hindi pwedeng magkapareho ang pangalan ng dalawang business. Ilan ang magagastos? Saan? Miss na Behet, saan magagastos? So, ulit, business names hindi pwedeng parehas